Hi, I'm Jared. I'm a software engineer from Colombia, and I will presenting my technical project, a software platform for managing co-working spaces. The problem is solved. Even though it's built for a co-working space, its main purpose is to make sure that different companies using that co-working don't interfere with one another. The app shows information in real time to improve how the shared space is coordinated. So each company can report on usage, view its reservations, and see the other company meetings, schedule its own, and invite its members to a meeting. Who it's for? The office manager of a company working out of a shared co-working building. Let me walk you through it. This is the sign in page, but let me your history to show the full flow. Click on create workspace. I entered the manager name, the company, a valid email. It has to be real to receive authentication like this, and the password. I'm going to sign in with these credentials, and I'm in. This is the menu. The dashboard shows me my incoming meetings and quickly way to book for day and my reservation status. And here is my reservations. Move on to define spaces. This section main purpose is to see which meeting the other company have scheduled. Click on search. And so we stay coordinated and don't overlap. For example, there are two AI meetings, so we know that room at that time are taken. In the spacing section, I create my own space by filling in the details. Click on new space and fill the details, the name, the type, and the capacity of people. So let's move on to calendar. Then I go to calendar to schedule. The calendar also shows the meetings are already booked. I will select July 10 from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. or starts at 9 a.m. and ends 10 p.m. Select the space and create a short summary. This is optional. And click on save. And there is the meeting created. If I check in spaces, the meeting appear and my reservation appear. Finally, in reports I can view the results including a utilization forecast and export to SCV, and each reservation can be added to Google Calendar. To wrap up, it's both light and dark modes and English and Spanish languages. So, talking about the questions, how I decide to prioritize trade it off. I decide what to build by accroaching on the core, booking availability, reporting and coordination, and on getting it working end to end and deploy it rather than perfectly polish it. I prioritize time and resource efficiency. I use a Supabase for the backend and database because it built in out and row level security. Gave me a real security layer without building it from the scratch or building the backend from the scratch. On the front end, I production ease of use. I delivery keep the UI clean with no walls, not a lot of buttons, so the user always know where to go. What I left out: full Google Calendar authentication. For example, reservation, click on calendar and the meeting going to appear in the Google Calendar application. Just fill the gaps and save. Trade-off: ICC link plus a calendar deep link instead of authentications. Yeah, more of the value, no of the setup. share the reservation visibility with private booking. Every company see all meetings to coordinate it. When I see and click on find spaces, but only books and manage its own spaces and an statistical forecast instead of having machine learning explain it and enough for a prototype. The third part how I used AI. My process was spec-driven development methodology. Before coding, I defined the idea in the Kiro ID using the spec-driven development mode. Create the requirements, design, the choices, and UI/UX section, and the task breakdown. For implementation, my primary coding agent was Cloud Code on Opus, and I used skills to raise the quality of its output. AI helped me a lot with front-end development and design and the business logic and solve a little bit of bugs, right? Where AI struggled was taking to the Supabase API helped me a lot for solving problems for the backend. Getting the requests and queries right, and I had to manually review the Postgres logs and the code to find the failures. And concrete example is on the finest spaces was sending specific filters and time zone mismatch. So the requires return nothing. By reading the logs and the HTTP responsive in the browser, we pinpointed and fixed it. So AI speed up the building a lot, but stayed in the loop to verify its outputs. I never shipped it blinding. What I do with another week. This is my top 3 improvement. First, super admin, a role above the companies to manage all tenants' spaces and cross the company utilization reporting. Number 2, real Google Calendar authentication with 2 ways to sync and email notifications and reminders. The third one, the most important, harden the architecture from the production. Move toward a more controlled stack, Django and Next.js, backend in microservices architecture, with a database per pattern service, containerized with Docker, and get my own VPS, right? So I own security and control instead of dependencies on base and add end-to-end test, or bottom down. Bigger risks, weakness, launching to real users. What will make me nervous launching to real users is the privacy. To enable coordination and realize to role level security so companies can see each other bookings, which also exposes the names and emails across companies. Whether the real pages on tenants isn't unacceptable. I will replace it with a names only view or a dedicated operator role. The second risk is dependency of managed services. Backend as a service like Supabase and serverless deployed versus it's fast to ship, but in a single point of failure I don't fully control. In the service go down or our field tier is retired, I could lose ability or data or my whole process. Both are conscious traded off. I made it to ship working a prototype in 72 hours. Thank you for watching this video.